ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. So yesterday we discussed from first chapter, verse number 23. ह्योत्समानान् अवेक्ष्याहं ययेत्यत्र समागता धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेर् युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः. So Arjuna requested Lord Krishna to put the chariot in between the two armies so that he can see all those warriors who have assembled in this great battlefield and who are very much desirous of fighting against Pandavas. That means they are willing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra, that means Duryodhana. So Durbuddhi, just like so Arjuna wanted to see who all are also evil-minded, Durbuddhi, because one who takes the side of a Durbuddhi, he must also be a Durbuddhi. Hmm. Because the devotees, they are pure hearted, pure souls. That's why they take side of Krishna. They love Krishna, they want to serve Krishna. uh, and those who are non-devotees, whose heart is impure, who are envious, so they, instead of accepting Krishna's authority, they want to deny his existence, or they want to establish that Krishna is also like a ordinary human being, maybe little more powerful. So in this way, the kind of consciousness or mentality one has, he similarly accepts the side of those kind of people. So Arjuna wanted to know who all are also Durbuddhi, like the Durbuddhi, son of Dhritarashtra. So what does Durbuddhi means? Evil-mindedness means, we discussed yesterday, that one who cannot tolerate the happiness of others is a Durbuddhi. One who out of envious attitude, envy, wants to uh, uh, insult others, wants to take the position of others out of envy. He is called Durbuddhi. And Duryodhana is the typical example of this Durbuddhi, evil-minded person. So Arjuna, that's why he requested. So after hearing Arjuna's request, now what Krishna is going to do? Sanjay is telling in this verse number 24. So Sanjay is speaking to whom? Dhritarashtra. That एवमुक्तो ऋषिकेशो गुडाकेशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम्. Translation. Sanjay said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. So Sanjay is speaking, Evam ukto Rishikesho. When Arjuna requested in this manner to Lord Rishikesh, who is director of the senses. So he's supposed to direct Arjuna's senses, but instead he is taking the direction from Arjuna, instruction from Arjuna. That is his greatness. So although he is Rishikesh, he is actually master, honor, director, or order giver to every living entity. But because he is very affectionate towards his devotees, is like Arjuna, so Rishikesh, he was instructed, ordered by Arjuna. What he did? Senayor Ubhayor Madhye स्थापयित्वा रथ उत्तमम सेनयोर उभयोर उभयोर मतलब both मध्ये in between both the party in between the two parties he put the chariot in between the two parties who Lord Rishikesh uh, because he was so requested. Hmm. Thus requested. Evam matlab in this way, when Rishikesh, the lord of the senses, the controller of every living entity, when thus he was instructed or requested, ordered, practically ordered or instructed. So by Gudakeshena Bharata, by Bharata, by Gudakeshena. Gudakeshena means by Arjuna. Arjuna's name is Gudakesh. We'll discuss about the meaning of and the word Gudakesh and also why Sanjay is addressing Arjuna as Gudakesh. So, Gudakeshena Bharata, O descendant of Bharat. He is addressing to Dhritarashtra. That when Krishna, Rishikesh, she was addressed by Gudakesh, Arjuna, requested by Gudakesh to put the chariot in the between the two armies. So Krishna, although he is the master, but still without hesitation, she immediately what he did, Senayor Ubhiyor Madhe Isthapitva Rathottamam. He put the two this chariot, Rathottamam, the Uttam Rath, the finest chariot, Rathottamam. Why Arjuna's chariot is called as Rathottamam? Yes, can anybody answer? You write in the chat box, or if somebody wants to speak, you can raise your hand. Yes, who can tell? Why this chariot of Arjuna has been addressed as Rathottamam? So the best of the chariot, finest chariot, was put. Yes, Jitesh bro.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanur Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
It wasn't the Rath. It is because Krishna is the charioteer of that Rath. The Rath becomes Rath Uttam.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay, that's good reason.
yeah.
Very nice. So because Krishna is present on the chariot, so automatically anything which comes in contact with the Supreme Lord, that becomes Uttam. Uttam means Udgata Tama, beyond the modes of material nature, especially mode of ignorance. So that's why it became Uttam Ratha. And another reason uh, why Uttam Ratha. Deepika Mataji, please mute yourself. The noise is
Probably
coming.
because Lord, Sun God had given the Rath to
Yeah,
Arjuna.
fire god. So that is another reason because fire god gifted this Rath chariot to Arjuna. That's why also it is Rathottama. So in both the ways we can say because it is gifted by it is that Rath does not belong to this earthly planet. It has been gifted by fire, and fire itself is very powerful, finest. That's why the chariot given by gifted by the fire god is also very the finest chariot, Rathottamam, because fire god considered that Lord Krishna is going to drive this chariot. So how can he drive some ordinary chariot? No. So he must be yeah, using. He must be given the best of the chariot. That's why he gifted this chariot, and that is why this is Rathottamam. So in this way, Rathottam. So in this verse, Arjuna is referred to as Gudakesh. So Gudaka means sleep, and one who conquers sleep is called Gudakesh. Sleep also means ignorance. So Arjuna conquered both sleep and ignorance because of his friendship with Krishna. So that is the meaning of Gudakesh. Gudakesh means one who has conquered over ignorance or sleep, darkness. That is why his name is Gudakesh, because Gudaka means sleep or ignorance, darkness. So why he could conquer over sleep and ignorance? Because of his friendship with Krishna. So as a great devotee of Krishna, he could not forget Krishna even for a moment. That is also another meaning of Gudakesh. Uh, because that is the nature of a devotee. So Arjuna, his name is Gunakes. So practically Arjuna, he controlled over his senses. He was very nice controller. Although he was a Kshatriya, and generally Kshatriyas are in mode of passion. Uh, but Arjuna's case is different. Arjuna, although being a Kshatriya, so he was not influenced by mode of passion. Although he fought in the battlefield, and in order to fight, in order to fight, one requires mode of passion, because without mode of passion, if somebody is situated in mode of goodness, he is having sadhu pravritti. Sadhu baba means he can tolerate anything, no insult, not at all. A brahmana, and especially a vaishnava devotee, a brahmana, they simply just tolerate any kind of insult. It doesn't bother them at all. They don't get affected by anyone's offenses or insults. There is two reasons are there. There may be multiple reasons, but mainly two reasons why a devotee does not get affected by the insults and offenses of others. What is the reason? The main reason is because devotees, they understand, they have clear understanding. Most of the people in this material world, they are themselves struggling very hard with their mind and senses. They are under the control of three modes of material nature. So it's not actually their fault. They are not at all controller. They are fully under the control of modes of material nature. They are practically slaves of these modes of material nature. So that's why that has become their nature, although it is artificial. So it is not, they cannot control it at all. So even if somebody comes and insults and says abusive words, so devotee just tolerates it. Actually, there is no question of tolerating. He just neglects it. He just ignores it. He doesn't get affected by it at all. This is one reason, because he understands that most of the people in this age, because this age is a fallen age, so because of the influence of this age, most of the people are fallen in this world. So those who are fallen in this, those who are already fallen in this world, so they must be uplifted, they must be shown mercy. Uh, so if a devotee becomes angry upon hearing the offenses or insulting words of fallen people, then how he will be able to uplift their consciousness, how he will be able to do good to them. So that's why generally they devotees, they don't bother about these things. They want to do good to that person. They want to uplift his consciousness. They want to engage him in the service of Krishna. And we find there are many examples of such great devotees, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, and many others, who engage practically all kinds of people, even if sometimes they became very abusive, angry upon them. And, there is one, there was one devotee, but he became so much angry upon his own Guru Maharaj. His Guru Maharaj is a pure devotee, a very nice devotee. Srila Prabhupada, the best of the disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So, and very humble, and he dedicated his entire life for the service of Srila Prabhupada. So that devotee, he was his disciple. So he could not control his anger because of some reason. Uh, so he even threatened that I will kill you. To that degree he went, and he threatened his own spiritual master that if you don't accept my proposal, I will kill you. So even in that situation, and that spiritual master, Guru, he was very powerful. If he wanted, he could have immediately rejected that disciple. And if he wanted, he could have immediately thrown him out of his con also. But still, out of his great mercy, he simply tolerated it. He did not say anything, did not do anything, simply tolerated it. At some or other, he convinced him to remain in his con and go on serving Srila Prabhupada. Later on, that devotee, he understood his mistake and he repented. Because so in this, I just narrated this case because, so a pure devotee, he understands that although he is my disciple, he is completely dependent upon me. And but because of influence of mode of ignorance, he's speaking like this, he's acting like this foolishly. So he has become foolish. He is, because he is fallen. So why should I also follow him? Why should I also become angry and reject him? No, that's not my business. My business is to some or other protect him in his spiritual life, and some or other to inspire him to remain engaged in the service of Srila Prabhupada. In this way, pure devotee spiritual master, he acts in such a manner. So this is one reason. That's why they are easily able to forget and forgive the offenses of fallen people of this age. Another reason is a devotee generally by nature he is always peaceful, and he doesn't want to engage. He doesn't want to waste his even a single moment away from the association of Krishna, away from the service of Krishna. So that's why whenever somebody comes and personally tries to insult him and personally tries to offend him, he doesn't bother about it because unnecessary. He doesn't want to uh, waste his time and energy in unnecessary trying to curse and counter curse and speak harshly or trying to prove himself that I am right, you are wrong. No, all these things are nonsense things. These these things only results in wasting our valuable time. That's all. So that's why devotee by nature, when somebody insults himself, she very easily tolerates and he keeps on chanting Hare Krishna and serving Krishna. But if somebody is there who attacks on Krishna or Krishna's philosophy or great acharyas, then devotee, he does not sit silently. Then he speaks up and he proves how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how our acharyas and their philosophies and their performance of devotional service is all perfect. There is no, not at all. There is no means any kind of fault in that. So he proves very nicely. So that can be done. So in this way, so Arjuna, he is addressed as Gudakesh. So Gudakesh means Arjuna practically controlled all of his senses, mind and senses. So he was such a great controller. So he even controlled his sleep. That's why when he was studying in the Gurukul, so in the daytime, Dronacharya used to give him lessons, theoretical lessons, and in the night, all the other disciples they used to sleep. But Arjuna never slept. In entire his Gurukul life, he never slept at night. In the entire night, he used to practice and used to master whatever he has learned in the daytime. That was his great determination. He was such a great controller of his senses. That's why he could conquer his sleep. And Gunakesh also means the controller of ignorance, who has overcome ignorance. That is also the meaning of Gunakesh. So, because of his constant, Arjuna was a constant associate of Krishna. So, he practically lived with Krishna all the time. Every single moment he lived with Krishna. That's why, because of this constant and very intimate association with Krishna, Arjuna could overcome all the ignorance. He is known as Gunakesh. So similarly, anyone who can associate with the Supreme Lord Krishna, he can get the same benefit. He can also become Gudakesh. Gudakesh means he can overcome ignorance, darkness. And the greatest ignorance is that to consider ourselves to be this body. That is the greatest kind of illusion and ignorance. And based on this false bodily concept of life, to consider ourselves to be this body and anything belonging to the body to belonging to me. Aham mameti, that this body is, I am this body, and this particular object which is connected with with this body is that belongs to me. This is mine. This is my husband, my wife, my children, my parents, my nation, uh, my laptop, my mobile, my. And this is called as mameti, mamata, and ahamta. Ahamta and mamata. These two are the binding force for a living entity to always remain entangled in this material existence. These two things. If somebody can give up these two things, ahamta means I am this body, and mamata means this person belongs to me, and this object belongs to me. If one can overcome these two things, he is immediately liberated. At that particular time, moment only, he is liberated from this material existence. And from there onwards, he can very easily develop pure Krishna consciousness, pure love for Krishna. The only reason we are unable to develop attachment or love for Krishna is that we have not yet given up this bhava, ahamta and mamata. We are still maintaining this attitude that I am this body so we are getting affected with this body. Somebody may be ugly, so he thinks that, oh, I am so ugly, nobody likes me. And somebody who is very beautiful or handsome, so he always thinks, oh, I am very handsome, I am very beautiful, everyone is getting attracted towards me. So in this way, ahamta. Somebody who is foolish, so he thinks that, oh, I am of no use, nobody, I cannot do anything, I'm so foolish, I cannot even understand even simple things. And somebody who is very intelligent, he thinks, oh, I'm very intelligent, I can do anything I want, everyone should follow my instruction. So in this way, either one gets land up into having this inferiority complex or superiority complex. These both are signs of false ego only, ahankar. To think oneself to be very inferior, that is also ahankar. Ahankar means to falsely identify with this body. That is the meaning of ahankar. So if somebody thinks that I am not at all qualified, I am very foolish, I am not at all beautiful, I'm very ugly, I'm very ugly, very foolish, I'm very weak, I'm this, I'm that. So I'm not at all qualified to do anything in this material world. That is also a great false ego, because still you are identifying with this body. And if somebody, on the other hand, somebody who may think, I'm very beautiful, I'm very intelligent, I'm very this is also great false ego. No difference at all. Uh, Only a person who can understand and who can accept that I'm not this body at all. I am a spirit soul. Uh, and spirit soul is part and parcel of Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha. So I am also Sachidananda Vigraha. So my only duty is to serve Krishna in all the circumstances, whether in this body or in dog's body, hawk's body, demigod's body, or any body without body. Doesn't matter. This body is a vehicle, machine. It's an outward dress only. So why should I become so much bothered about this body, that this material body, and not just gross body, subtle body also. A subtle body also. This identification with the body is of two type. One is identity attachment with this gross body which we see, and another is with the sukshma sarir, subtle body, mind and intelligence. Somebody thinks, oh, I don't like this, I don't like to do like this. So you are not liking or disliking those things. Your mind is not liking and disliking. You are aloof from the mind. Mind may not like certain situations, circumstances. But if you think that I don't like to associate with people, I don't like to live there, I don't like to live like this. So this is also a false ego. False ego means you are also still identifying with this with your mind, but you are not this mind. We are spirit soul. So let the mind and this body have any kind of circumstance, any kind of conditioning, and this conditioning we have got from our activities in the previous life. So the kind of activities we have performed in our previous life, so accordingly we have gotten certain kind of this gross body and certain kind of mentality, which is subtle body. So a devotee who is in perfect understanding, who knows very well that I am not this body, I am a spirit soul, I am servant of Krishna. So doesn't matter whether the body likes or does not like, mind likes or does not like. It is my duty to serve Krishna, so I will serve Krishna. It is my duty to associate with devotees, I will associate with devotees. So whatever is necessary for the service of Krishna, whatever is necessary for advancing in Krishna consciousness, a devotee is very much willing to adopt that situation in spite of not liked by the mind and the body and other circumstances. So that is the meaning of becoming free from ahamta, that I am this body. And another meaning is to become free from mamata, that these things, these people, this object, this place, this belongs to me. No, nothing belongs to us, everything belongs to Krishna. So everything should be employed in the service of Krishna. So if somebody has got this mentality, consciousness, that everything, because everything belongs to Krishna, so everything should be used in the service of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So that is the meaning of he has become free from mamta. He has become niskinchan. He has become completely detached or virakta. He may be having all the possessions, just like King Amrish. Amrish Maharaj was ruler of the entire earthly planet. He was the Chakravarti Samrat, emperor. He was emperor. So practically everything belonged to him. But because he was in perfect consciousness that everything actually belongs to the Supreme Lord, and so everything should be used in his service. My body also belongs to him. So he engaged his body, senses, mind, intelligence, his words, Vani, and all the resources, he engaged in the service of Krishna. That is why he was perfectly detached personality, akinchan, and he was completely free from ahamta and mamta. And in this way, even while ruling over the earthly planet, even while being emperor of the entire earth planet, he became liberated from material existence, and he got situated in the transcendental realm, the transcendental abode of the Supreme Lord, Vaikuntha. He got it. Lord Krishna became very much pleased with him with such a behavior. So a person who keeps up this attitude of ahamta and mamta and becomes completely detached, niskinchana, that person's property becomes the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. Anyone who thinks, who understands that nothing belongs to me, I have no property, no possession. So in his possession, the Supreme Lord Krishna becomes his possessions. That's why Kunti Maharani prays, Tvam akinchana gochara, namo akinchana vittaya. Vittaya means property. My dear Krishna, you are akinchana vittaya. Akinchan means a devotee who has no other possession. So you are only his possessions. Just imagine if somebody can have Krishna as his possession, so that means he possesses everything. He possesses everything because Krishna is the supreme controller, supreme proprietor of everything. So naturally, the devotee becomes the proprietor of everything because he is possessing Krishna. So that is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. So in this way, Ahamta and Mamata are the greatest kind of ignorance. No? And anyone who gets the constant association of the Supreme Lord Krishna, he can become free from this greatest kind of ignorance, and he can become Gurakesh. And the greatest or simplest method how one can remain 24 hours in association with the Supreme Lord Krishna is by chanting his holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when we chant his holy name, we are in constant touch with him. When we hear about him, we are in constant touch with him. In this way, if a devotee's life is molded in such a manner that 24 hours he is in the constant touch with the Supreme Lord, then automatically he is freed from all kinds of ignorance and he is situated in perfect stage of liberation. Jivan Mukta Sa Uchyate. That is explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Sri Rupa Goswami. Iha yasya harirdasse karmana manasa gira nikhilasvabi api avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. Huh? Even while living in this material world, that person is liberated from all kinds of entanglement. Huh? So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. In this verse, we'll also discuss some more teachings tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, is there any question? You can ask. Hare Krishna,
मुझे
Hare Krishna.
हमें हमारे मोरल प्रिंसिपल्स इग्नोर करने चाहिए क्या भक्ति में अगर
No,
आ रहे हैं तो
no. We
प्रॉब्लम
should not ignore any moral principles. We should follow all kinds of moral principles. But if anything, whether moral or immoral, if it becomes obstacle in the execution of Krishna consciousness to advance in bhakti, then we should reject that also. So we are neither attached to following moral principles nor we are detached in following the moral principles. We are attached only in Krishna to advance in devotional service to Krishna. So whatever supports us to advance in his devotional service, we accept that, and whatever is becomes obstacle, so we reject it. This is very simple principle.
हाँ वही
Anukulyasya sankalpa,
वही
प्रतिकूलस्य
पूछना
varjanam. Yes.
जी 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 वही पूछना था कि मतलब भक्ति में अगर वो मतलब बाधक हो रहा है वो चीज तो हमें
Yeah,
रिजेक्ट कर देनी
then we
चाहिए
can reject. Yes, of course. Just
फॉर
like
एग्जाम्पल
a person should not lie. He should only speak truth, especially to his parents. Huh? But students, sometimes it happens. Parents they want to create obstacles. They don't like that their sons and daughters to become devotees of Krishna. So in that case, the children they can lie to parents also. No problem with that. Although lying, speaking lie to parents is a great sin. It is considered to be a sin. It is immoral. But if following this moral principle, if we are obstructed in performing devotional service to Krishna, then we should reject this for following of moral principles. We are ready to become immoral by speaking lie and attending Krishna classes, Krishna Katha, and serving Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There are cases where a student is strictly prohibited by their parents to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we tell them that you don't tell, you hide yourself, hidingly you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and lie that I'm not chanting. That's all right, because ultimately Krishna is our supreme father and mother. So to accept his instruction, that is greatest moral principle. So in order to fulfill the higher moral principle, to execute the higher moral principle, we can break the lower moral principles if that lower moral principle does not support us to execute the higher moral principles. In that condition only a devotee can break the lower moral principles. But generally a devotee should not break any moral principles. Okay. Any other question?
मैं पूछ सकती हूँ क्या?
Yes, yes, पूछिए.
प्रभु जी, जैसे जो मतलब प्रैक्टिसिंग डिवोटीज हैं उन पर भी ये लॉ ऑफ कर्मा अप्लाई होता है?
Depends how much he is surrendered. If somebody is 100% surrendered, 100% he has become fully pure devotee, so no law of karma applies upon him. But to the degree one is not freed from the this material existence, to that degree the laws of karma are applied. If you are 50% surrendered to Krishna, so only 50% laws of karma will be applicable to you. 50% you will have to uh, get the result according to the law of karma also.
जी जी
Okay.
प्रभु जी। और प्रभु जी, एक और क्वेश्चन था कि मान लीजिए कि कोई डिवोटी है, प्रैक्टिसिंग डिवोटी है, जो कि कुछ मेंटल डिस्टरबेंसेस से गुजर रहा है, और
हाँ,
हमारी खुद की वो सिचुएशन नहीं है कि हम किसी को दे सके वो, तो मतलब हमें देना चाहिए, क्योंकि उससे हमारी भक्ति भी इफेक्ट हो सकती है। फॉर
नहीं
एग्जाम्पल,
अगर
कोई रिलेशनशिप में है और कोई
हाँ,
हमसे मतलब बात ही करता है उसी के बारे में, तो हमें उससे अवॉइड करना चाहिए
no,
या नहीं?
yes, yes, we should avoid that. If we cannot handle, and it is if the risk is there that we may also get entangled, so we should avoid it, and we should direct that person to approach another senior devotee who is mature enough to handle that case. Okay, that is safe side.
हाँ, वो
Okay.
रिग्रेट रहता है कि क्या मतलब हेल्प कर सकते थे, लेकिन
नो नो, हम लोग उतना ही हेल्प करना चाहिए जितना हम अपने आप को बचा के रखें। जैसे नदी में बहुत सारे लोग डूब रहे हैं, तो आपको मालूम है मैं बीच में जा करके डूबते व्यक्ति को नहीं बचा पाऊंगा, क्योंकि मैं बीच में जाऊंगा मेरे पास इतनी शक्ति नहीं, मैं भी डूब जाऊंगा। मैं जो किनारे जो डूब रहे हैं उनको मैं जाके तैर तैर के जाके बचा सकता हूँ। तो हमको केवल किनारे वालों को बचाना चाहिए। बीच में फिर उसको कोई ऐसे व्यक्ति को भेजना चाहिए जो बीच में जा करके स्विमिंग करके बचा के ला सके। हमको इमोशनल नहीं हो जाना चाहिए कि ये नहीं 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 मेरा जिम्मेदारी है, बचाना चाहिए। तो वो भी मरेगा हम भी मर जाएंगे, तो क्या फायदा हुआ। सो वी शुड बी इंटेलिजेंट ऑल्सो।
थैंक यू
Okay,
सो
so
मच
the
प्रभु जी, वेरी
uh, the
क्वेश्चन।
first principle is to save ourselves in Krishna consciousness, and then try to save others. If we are not saved, if we will get killed in by Maya, then what is the use of trying to save others?